6 attempts.
Where's the mic? It's here. Come on.
Please come in, Archit.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
You are Archit Dhoopar.
Yes, sir.
Take a seat, Archit, please.
Thank you, sir.
Archit, what does your name stand for?
Sir, Archit means the one who is worshipped or respected. It's a very spiritual name.
Must have come from there. So, just give a brief introduction to us, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, my name is Archit Dhoopar and I belong to Jaipur. I've done my schooling as well as my graduation from Jaipur. I've done my graduation in BTech in Computer Science and Engineering. And I've done my Masters in Philosophy, the MA Philosophy from IGNOU, Delhi.
So, that's a very unusual combination. And what drives you to the civil services?
Sir, actually, I read this one book in my college that was called Ikigai. That is a Japanese concept that defines what should you pursue in your life. And it's a very holistic concept. So when I applied the same parameters on my understanding, so I got civil services as the career that I should pursue because it offers diversity of job as well as good opportunities to work in with the government as well as society at the large scale. And also, sir, it is a decent paying job for the family to sustain.
It was not so in our times. Right. Now, Archit, I don't know if you've been following this, but a lot of agitations are taking place in countries like Israel and France.
Yes, sir.
What is the root cause in Israel and what is the root cause in France?
So the root cause in Israel is the judicial reforms that the government is pushing. So there are certain judicial reform where the government would be in majority of selection of judges, in the panel of selection of judges. Also, sir, the other reason is the West Bank expansion. That is the settlements of West Bank. The government wants to expand as well as settle more Jews there. So that is the reason is Israel.
You gave me one reason for the judicial reform which is being pushed through. There's another dimension of the judicial reform. Are you aware of that?
Sir, I cannot recall right now.
Okay. And in France, what's happening?
Sir, in France, the issue is about the pension reforms that the government is pushing. That is, the government wants to increase the retiree age, that is to 64, so that the pension burden for the future can be brought down.
In India, what is the issue with regard to pensions?
Sir, currently the issue regards to pension in India is the debate between OPS as well as the NPS. That is the old pension scheme and the new pension scheme. The certain state governments have pushed for gone back to the old pension scheme, while the certain other states as well as center promotes the new pension scheme as it is more fiscally prudent and better in the long term.
Archit, you appeared for the interviews earlier, right? Twice?
Yes, sir, once.
Once. And how much did you get at that stage?
Sir, I got 160.
And you missed by how many marks?
I missed by 30 marks, sir.
Okay. Right. Tell me something about disruptive technology.
So can I take a minute to think?
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, disruptive technologies are the technologies that bring a paradigm shift in the current technological platforms. So these technologies transform the way the things are done. For example, sir, internet was a disruptive technology as it changed how we communicate all over the world. And currently, sir, there are certain disruptive technologies such as AI as well as machine learning. And that is also a part of the fourth industrial revolution.
So what is the difference between AI and machine learning? Which is the subset of what? Is machine learning a subset of AI or is AI the subset of machine learning?
Some machine learning is the subset of AI because AI is the larger sphere where the machines are made in such a manner that they portray human intelligence, and machine learning is a way by which the machines can learn as well.
Right. Now, moving into a completely different area, you see in Japan,
yes, sir,
they permit only one attempt at the civil services.
Yes, sir.
Here, in India, multiple attempts are permitted.
Yes.
And I would put it to you that it's a colossal waste of time, resources, money, not to speak of the psychological impact it has.
Yes, sir.
So you have these lakhs of youngsters just wasting their lives in the 10th, 11th, 12th attempt.
Yes, sir.
My suggestion would be that whatever marks you get in the prelim should be valid for 3 years, and you should be allowed to give 3 attempts, and that's it. Do you think that's a good idea?
It is a good idea, sir, because prelims has become a very difficult stage in the civil services right now, and clearing it has been an obstruction for many aspirants. So clearing it once and then writing means given a chance to write.
And there's no guarantee that you'll clear it the next time.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. So the Andhra Pradesh government has suggested a new way which combines the benefits of both old pension scheme as well as new pension scheme. That is, sir, a guaranteed pension that is a benefit of old pension scheme, and contribution by the employee as well as the employer, that is the benefit of the new pension scheme. So Andhra Pradesh government has suggested that we should take both these benefits and bring out a new scheme which take the best of the both worlds.
But again, this will it not depend upon the market situation of the country? Because how can you guarantee that this much will be given? 30, it talks about 30% and 40%, so depending upon your contribution. So do you think it's viable?
Sir, I have not read much about it based on my limited knowledge.
Okay. Now tell me, nowadays history, certain people are saying that history is being rewritten. The government is trying to, well, not government, ICHR, Indian Council of Historical Research, they are trying to rewrite the history, whereas certain people say, it is not rewriting, it is filling up the gaps. So what is your opinion?
So history as a study is a very vast dimension, because new discoveries keep on happening and new things keep on adding. For example, sir, there was a recent study in Sinoli, sorry, sir. So according to that study, the dates have been pushed back for the modern empires. So because of that, sir, these new discoveries should be included in the syllabus, while sir, there can be certain relook at the history because of that.
There's a expressway which is coming up. In fact, the first phase has been inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister, Delhi to Mumbai Expressway.
Yes.
There are two unique features in this expressway which is not there in any other expressway. Can you think of what could they be?
Thank you, sir. Sir, as far as I read, first feature is digitization of the whole expressway, because the whole expressway is covered by cameras. So there are no stoppages or no police checkpoints between that. And if somebody overspeeds, so the challan would be deducted at the end of the toll tax collection. Second, I'm not aware about, sir.
My last question to you, road accidents, that is a major cause of death. Maximum deaths occur because of road accidents, not even murders. Figures of murders, etc. are too late. So now suppose you are the minister concerned of, say, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, you are the minister. So what all steps will you take so that this particular problem is minimized?
Thank you, sir. So the first step would be inclusion of technology for the same. For example, sir, GPS technology can be included for the expressway, as there are certain black spots where the accident, which are the most accident-prone areas. So those can be earmarked on the GPS platforms, and a warning can be given to the users. Second would be, sir, concretization of the stretches which are vulnerable to rain or dampening. So that would help in maintaining the quality of roads. Third would be, sir, public awareness, because there are very minimal signs on the roads and the expressways. So in that sense, sir, public can be more made aware about the same, and a better driving culture can be formulated.
Anything else? What about the vehicle?
So this is what I can think about right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Archit, you have studied philosophy.
Yes, sir.
What aspect of Indian philosophy is your favorite and why?
Sir, my favorite part in Indian philosophy is the Buddhist philosophy, sir, because it explains the philosophy in a very practical manner and it deals with the fundamental questions of the life. That is, as Buddha talks about, there is suffering in the world, but there is also part to removal of suffering. So that makes it a very practical philosophy which everybody can embody in their life.
What are the significant points of Sanatan Dharma, which is not the same as so-called practiced Hindu Dharma? Is there anything that comes to your mind?
So Sanatan Dharma is the eternal Dharma that is that compiles all the thoughts that are there in India, and that is a very overbearing concept above all the things. So the things that are included in Sanatan Dharma that is not in the practice of Hindu Dharma would be the Upanishadic teachings, that it's such as the Brahman Satyam Jagat Mithya. So that would be the concept where ultimately only real is Brahman and everything else is Maya and can be experienced only on the earthly level. So that would be one thing that I can think of.
What aspect of the Indian philosophy has been taken recently by the government for promotion of its G20 presidency?
Sir, Vasudev Kutumbakam has been taken by the government as the motto of G20, that is one earth, world, and one family. So that is.
It's not complete. One earth, one family, one future.
One future.
Do you remember the shlok from which this phrase has been taken? Okay. Suppose you are, I see that you have chosen foreign service as your first choice. Suppose you are posted somewhere in a country and you have to speak about Indian philosophy. What aspect of Indian philosophy will you explain to people to make them aware of the Indian philosophy?
Sir, if I have to speak about one aspect, I would speak about its diversity and tolerance. Because Indian philosophy is a very diverse philosophy and it accepts different views of different philosophers as well as different thinkers. For example, sir, there is a concept in Jainism called Anikantvad. That is, there are many realities. There is a manyness of reality. However, the ultimately everything is similar. So that is one aspect that can be helpful in today's times as well, and can also help to uh, bring all the religions as well as all the countries together, as everything is one in the end.
What do you mean by abstract photography? I thought abstract painting I can understand. What is abstract photography?
Sir, abstract photography is very similar to abstract painting as it is a conceptual art that when you click a picture, you try to portray a larger story out of it rather than focusing on a subject. So it defines a picture in a very story and a very subjective manner.
What is Liffey technique?
So Li-Fi technology
Li-Fi.
Yes, sir. So,
What is
it is the technology of transmission of data through LEDs as well as light. So in this technology, sir, you can manipulate the light source and superimpose the data packets on the same and transmit the data through light.
So how do you use this?
Sir, there are devices on the receiver as well as sender ends who manipulate the data, and through which through frequency modulation, the data can be modulated on the light wave. So through the light wave, the data can be transferred and then demodulated at the.
This is the technology. How do you use it? I mean, what do you do by using this technology?
So, sir, this can be used to transmit any form of data as it is a very secure technology and it cannot be intercepted. So, light source can be used to transmit audio files or data or word files or any form of data packets.
You did a project on this. What was the outcome of the project?
Sir, we modulated the audio wave on the light source. So we used an LED light as well as a laser light, and we tried to reduce the attenuation rate of the data as there was minimal noise in the data, and we also tried to make it in a frugal way as usually, sir, in Li-Fi technology, CMOS sensors are used, which are very expensive. We try to replace it with solar panels, which are very cheap, and that can be used to do the same task.
I'm asking this question because you have chosen the Indian Foreign Service as your first choice. What is your view on diplomacy? What is diplomacy?
So diplomacy, according to my view, would be an art of negotiation. That is negotiating and arriving at an outcome. So diplomacy would be used to indulge in talks as well as some deliberations which are outcome oriented. So that would be my view on diplomacy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Archit, you've said that you were inspired by Ikigai to take your decision.
Yes.
It's a kind of philosophy, I think.
Yes.
Is there any similarity between, or you find any similarities or some kind of resonance with Indian philosophical concepts, or none at all? Do you find any resonance, and if so, which, or you don't find any resonance or similarities?
Ma'am, one similarity that I can find is again with the Vedantic philosophy. That is how you live your life. That is, you are always trying to do the nishkam karma. That is the karma that are selfless and that are always aimed at a larger goal. So in that sense, ma'am, Ikigai also favors always focusing on a larger goal and acting in a selfless manner. So that would be one.
What do you think about India's current foreign policy approaches? Are they right? Are they wrong? They need changing, or they don't need any changing? What is your view on that? And what exactly are these approaches, if you can enumerate one or two or a few points about them?
Ma'am, the current diplomatic approaches of India are useful to maneuver in difficult times such as right now, that are the times of war or after the times of COVID. So these are difficult times, and India has been taking good approaches to maneuver through the same. Ma'am, one is taking a strategic autonomy stand. That is, India favors its own national interest while engaging with other nations.
Also, yeah, that's always been the case. No, sorry, yeah.
So secondly, ma'am, India also prefers to engage with other countries through bilateral as well as multilateral platforms. That is, India wants to engage through the multilateral platforms, and as the Honorable Prime Minister has also suggested, that there should be some reforms at the multilateral levels. So that is another approach that the country is taking, and that is a very beneficial approach for India as well as the whole world.
And what was our approach in the recent Ukraine war, or the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war? What has been our approach, and what is it about? What do you think it has been? Could it have been better, or is it has been a good approach?
Ma'am, according to my view, it has been a good approach because India is still dependent on Russia for certain needs for its country. For example, the defense needs. So India has been engaging with Russia to.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, also energy. So thank you for pointing that out. So India has been engaging with Russia to stop the war, as Honorable Prime Minister has openly said that this is not a time for war. On the other hand, ma'am, India has been helping Ukraine through humanitarian aid. That has also been a stand of India, that India will always be there through humanitarian aid and developmental assistance to other countries. Thirdly, ma'am, as India is also focusing on multi-level engagements with different countries, as India engages with United States and other allied through partners of United States through platforms such as Quad or IPEC, and it engages with China as ma'am Indo-Pacific Economic Cooperation. Yes, ma'am. So India also engages with Russia and China through SCO, that is which is India is also president of right now.
Point of time. And also it is following what we could call not a non-aligned approach, but a multi-aligned kind of approach, right? Okay. And recently, or just a couple of days ago, there was a news report saying that TikTok has been blocked in the UK, and the US lawmakers are questioning the CEO of TikTok.
Yes.
Given your background in computers, why is this being done, and how can TikTok be a threat to anybody? They are citing security reasons. How can it be a threat, or is it a threat, or it cannot be a threat?
Ma'am, it is a threat on multi levels because firstly, ma'am, TikTok's algorithm is not open. So it has been accused by different countries, and India has also banned TikTok in India because it has been stealing data from the users and giving it to the Chinese government, as been put out in the reports. Secondly, ma'am, it is also
Is it possible for an app to do that?
yes, ma'am, because the algorithms are made in such a way, yes, to capture the data and take the responses to the relevant parties. Secondly, ma'am, as TikTok is very addictive, it is also a threat on the social level because it has been seen that children as well as the young people are getting much more addicted to TikTok, and that has brought down the productivity as well as led to other problems such as mental health crisis. So that becomes another threat.
But at the same time, I see TikTok videos being circulated still. How is that possible if the app is being banned?
Oh, ma'am, those videos, the mostly which are circulated are downloaded videos which are being put out on different platforms such as Instagram Reels or the other apps such as the Moj app. So that has replaced TikTok in India.
But we get these videos of some Indians doing something on, doing some, 30-second videos. But how are those circulating even now? Or are they old before the ban?
Those are not old videos.
Now you cannot use TikTok at all to record new or fresh content.
Yes, ma'am, you cannot.
Last question. What is happening along the China-India line of control or border? And why?
Ma'am, as in 2020, China trespassed the border that was in the northern sector of India, and India and China were engaged in clashes. That was a Galwan clash, and since then the border has been a boiling point of contention between both the countries. There have been talks between the countries as on the army level as well as on the diplomatic level recently. One reason behind that is, ma'am, because during COVID, because the management of COVID was not appreciated by the Chinese citizens as well as all over the world. So China wanted to take the attention off from the same. So it started acting aggressively on its border. That was also seen in the South China Sea. Secondly, ma'am, as Chinese, no, ma'am, that was not the main reason. As ma'am, Chinese stand has been of expansionism. That is, ma'am, China wants to expand its border, and China believes itself as a middle country. That is the center of the power of the planet. So China wants to expand its border, and China has always maintained that there are certain bone of contention such as the Aksai Chin area as well as the Arunachal Pradesh area. So China wants to keep it engaged.
Keep it engaged to keep India,
yes,
sort of say in control kind of thing, is it?
Yes.
And why doesn't, I mean, we've been having border talks and negotiations for so long. Why do you think China doesn't want to resolve this issue?
Ma'am, to resolve the issue, there have been certain talks before as well, but there has been very less pull through from the same.
Because why do you think that has happened? Is it deliberate on their part? Keep the pot boiling, so to speak?
To an extent, it is deliberate because it keeps India engaged in certain things. So that makes China the Chinese development strategy more beneficial to them.
Messaging yes. Also that they're doing, and of course, trying to show the world that we are here and not India.
Yes, ma'am.
To some extent.
Yes, ma'am. To a certain extent.
That they are superior power. That is also, I think, one part of the messaging, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Archit.
Yes.
You have done your BTech by 2015.
Yes.
So in the last 7-8 years, how are you managing the finances?
Sir, I work as a freelancer in the copywriting field. So that is my profession.
What exactly do you do in the copywriting business?
Sir, I write ad copies that are used by the e-commerce companies to target their audience for their products. So I work in the field.
Okay.
It's a work from home. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is this Li-Fi meaning?
Sir, Li-Fi means light fidelity. Yes, sir.
How is it different exactly from Wi-Fi?
So Wi-Fi uses radio signals to transmit data and to connect, while Li-Fi uses light signals. So it can be done through any light source. So that is a more major benefit of this.
Then why is it not more popular?
Sir, there are certain reasons behind that. Firstly, sir, because it is a line of sight communication technology. That is, you need to be always in the line of sight of the light source. So that makes it difficult to use in the real world, as there are obstructions as well as you have to maneuver through places. So that cannot be used everywhere. Secondly, sir, as the modulation and demodulation part and the regarding technology is a bit expensive rather than the other common radio signal technology. So that also makes it difficult to use in the common world.
So can you compare the speed of 5G and Li-Fi in terms of data transfer?
Sir, I'm not sure about the exact figures, but
Approximately?
sir, 5G has a top speed of 10 Gbps, and as far as I've read, sir, Li-Fi has speeds more than that.
More than 10 times.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, yes, I think, can it travel through water? Can we transmit data through water?
Sir, it can, but there would be some noise in the data because water can refract the light that is going through that.
Okay. So coming back to your computer science engineering. So what are the major breakthroughs in the last 1 year in computing?
So the first would be ChatGPT. That is the new AI tool that has been
in computing.
So on the hardware side, there are very fast chipsets that are being developed, such as the A2 bionic chip that is being developed by Apple, as well as the Intel's i9's chip, so that is being developed. So these are the major hardware breakthroughs. On the software side, so there is ChatGPT.
Okay. So have you heard of these super fast computers and quantum supremacy? So can you tell briefly about it?
So quantum computing is the new emerging technology where the principle of quantum physics are being used in computing. So quantum superimposition is the quantum supremacy. So the quantum supremacy is the technology, sir, where the quantum computers have achieved speeds that are being unimagined by the normal supercomputers. For example, sir, recently Google's Sycamore computer did some sum that was being done in 200 seconds, which a normal supercomputer would take around 10,000 years. So that's how it achieved the quantum supremacy.
Okay. So can you tell some of the features of the data protection bill proposals that have been happening in India?
Thank you, sir. So the first proposal is of grievance redressal mechanism. That is, there would be a grievance redressal mechanism if any data is being leaked for the consumer side. So second is, government also promotes that all the sensitive data would be stored in India only. So it limits the data that can be stored to outside countries to a very minimal level. Third, sir, the bill also suggests to set up of certain data centers in India where the foreign companies can store their data, and which would be a safe as well as secure platform.
So let me ask you some questions on governance in India or schemes in India. So are we moving towards a decentralization or towards more of central government interference in every sector?
Sir, there has been certain issues of centralization in certain sectors, as central schemes are being implemented through the states, and there has been an issue where central sponsored schemes are in the majority. However, sir, as on the implementation side, it's more of decentralization, as because the state governments as well as the local governments implement the same.
So they are mere implementing agencies then?
Sir, not exactly.
Do they have any policy autonomy?
They have a policy autonomy, sir, as states are pushing their own welfareistic schemes or other schemes. For example, recently Rajasthan government formulated a urban unemployment guarantee scheme. So that was an innovative scheme that has been put out by Rajasthan and certain few governments.
Okay. So one last question. So there is one phrase about freebies. That is, you can only introduce them. There is no way to take it back. So in what direction are we moving towards? Whether it is across the states or at the central level?
So regarding freebies, there has been a debate for some time now. However, sir, the freebies that are being said that those are freebies mostly are based on the welfareistic schemes that the government is pushing. So those would be there to fulfill the direct principle of state policies, and in that sense, the freebies can be given to the beneficiary population. However, sir, superpassing those directive principle of state policies and giving freebies that are not fiscally prudent and would not lead to any benefit on the ground, as economist Abhijit Banerjee also suggested that freebies do not lead to poverty elevation. So that would be not better for the government, for the country as a whole.
Are there any restraints that the governments are following? Self-restraint mechanism, something? Can you quote one or two examples from the recent budget?
Sir, I will have to read more about that. I cannot recall right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Archit, that brings us to the end of the formal interaction.
Okay, sir.
We'll now move on to the feedback and also some practical tips. When is your interview?
Sir, 20th April.
So you have some time. So, in fact, I don't peg you at a 160 candidate. You are much better than that. Let me start with the basics. Grooming,
Yes, sir.
right? So hair, clean shaven,
Yes, sir.
hopefully. And your socks must match your trousers.
Okay,
The color of your trousers and the color of your socks has to be the same.
Okay, sir.
You are sitting in a very stiff posture. Just relax. It's not an interrogation.
Okay, sir.
It's a friendly interchange of views, except that you're interacting with some senior people, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can be like this.
Okay, sir.
Just relax. And avoid saying things like, based on my limited knowledge.
Okay.
Why would the panel want to take you if you, on your own admission, have limited knowledge?
Okay, sir.
Right? So, see, I'll give you some. You've already been through it, so I don't need to go in detail. But just let me give you some idea of what it's all about. You need to understand that it's not a test of knowledge. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's a test of your officer-like qualities. And let me just take them off one by one. Integrity, no guessing, no bluffing.
Yes, sir.
Awareness of yourself, of your district, state, nation, world around you. Which TV channels are you seeing any good TV channels?
Sir, I watch mostly the YouTube channel, that is the print and mostly the print.
Vion is good. In a capsule of 30 minutes, it covers all the international happenings, main
Okay.
international happenings. And Sunset TV for the Indian context.
Okay, sir.
Then poise and self-confidence, so that you don't get flustered. There will be ups and downs in the
Yes,
course of the interview. So you need to take the rough with the smooth. Conceptual clarity, right? Lucidity of expression,
Yes, sir.
balanced opinions. So I would suggest, a candidate gives off non-verbal cues. If you are tense and anxious, if you're not in a happy state of mind,
Yes, sir.
that communicates to the panel. So just relax, be in a very easygoing state of mind, positive attitude.
Yes, sir.
You've already seen what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Now, in this limited time which you have, I suggest you take about 50, 60 of these A4 size sheets.
Okay, sir.
And build up a question bank of, say, about 125 questions. You already know where they are coming from, right?
Yes, sir.
Your DAF, current events, your subject, your job. These are the kind of areas.
Yes, sir.
And on each subject, each topic, each question, attain complete mastery over all the dimensions, and then make bullet points as an aid to memory. Don't memorize, internalize it. Make it part of your thinking process.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sit before a mirror and practice. If this question comes, this is how I'll answer. If this, or get someone to videotape you. That's even better, because over a period of time you can check how you answered the entire gamut of questions.
Okay, sir.
So do all this, and I'm sure you'll do very well. Huh?
Okay.
You just need to tweak your preparation a little bit, understand what it's all about,
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
and go there with a positive attitude. Absolute clear mind, no tension, no anxiety, no stress,
Yes, sir.
and you'll do very well.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Slouching and sitting. Don't slouch. Sit up straight.
Yes.
And
Your back
relaxed.
should be
Yes,
touching
back
the
should be
back
straight
of the
and
chair.
sit straight.
Yes, ma'am.
You're slouching like this. No, that sends again, as sir said, the wrong vibe.
Okay.
So positive, and practice.
Okay, ma'am.
And you'll do it.
How have your mains gone this time?
So they are gone good this time.
Good. So we hope to see you in the list.
Thank you so much,
Best
sir.
of luck.
All the
Thank
very
you.
best.
Thank you so much.
All
ma'am.
the best,
Thank you,
Archit.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.